Enjoy your viewing. The raven stood happy and was already giving his spirits names. Now you're black and you're white. He spoke, and the spirits were no less happy about it. The rat continued to sit in the pool with me, waiting for its transformation, with the words, "Damn it. He stole all the glory." I decided to support my subordinate a little. Approaching the mouse from behind, I put my hand on his shoulder. He paid attention to me. "Did you want something, boss?" he asked. "Aren't you brothers? Why do you care? We should be happy for him. See? I'm with you." I told him, and the mouse broke into a satisfied smile, barely holding back tears. Literally in the next second, he said, "Boss." These were words of anticipation. Apparently something is happening. I decided to ask him what happened, and we immediately began to shine. "Boss. I think I'm starting to evolve." After these words, my condition needed to be seen. Honestly, it even hurt. Why am I the last? The mouse flew up a meter above the pool, and the radiance increased with every second. Literally before my eyes, my subordinate began to change his appearance and become big. It was hard to tell who he was becoming like. The next moment, a huge animal was standing in front of me. His description was as follows. Level 1 Class 3. King of Rodents. A magical rodent-type beast born to be a king. In his prime, he is able to reach level 7 of Class 1. Skills. Rodent control, escape, stone carving claws. My subordinate, looking at his new paws with claws, began to talk enthusiastically. "I feel so strong. Haha. I did it. Now I'm a magical beast too. Haha. Now you won't say I'm fat. Come on, boss. I believe you can do it." The rodent spoke with great joy on his face, already supporting me. I continued to stand in the pool, trying not to show envy. "Yeah. You're right. I think my turn is just around the corner." The rodent began to climb out of the pool with the words, "Raven. Suck it." To which the bird replied, "Mouse. You've become a magical beast too. But you don't think that I'm still the same weakling that I was before?" Their dialogue marked the beginning of the duel. Shouting, "So what? I can still beat you." The rodent rushed at the raven, attacking with its new claws. The spirits that raven had subdued began to whisper, "Who do you think will win?" The black one asked, but the white one just mumbled in response, without saying a clear answer. "Damn it. I'm the only one left. A lot of time has already passed. Why didn't anything happen? I'm ashamed to be called their boss." My disappointment was only due to ignorance of small details. Thinking I'm hopeless. With a heavy sigh, I said, "Am I not endowed with talent?" And at that moment, the old man completely dispelled my sadness. "Haha. Kid. There's nothing to worry about. The longer you stay there, the better your talent." At that moment, realizing the words of the teacher, all the sadness, as if by hand, was removed. "Really?" I exclaimed hopefully. "Haha. I knew it. I am the one who will command them all. There's no way I can be mediocre." Starting to rub myself with water from the pool, I already imagined how strong I would become. "Temper your ardor," the old man declared, but he was thinking in his head. What kind of student did I take? Manage everyone? You? If it was that simple, I would have done it a long time ago. Suddenly, at the bottom of the pool, an eye opened. It was the soul of the magical dragon Bezidon. He paid attention to the surface of the water, let out a little air from the back hole to mark his appearance and thought. Swimming on my back in the pool, suddenly I heard the dragon farting, and then the movement of the water. What's that noise? I said. Turning around, I saw huge waves moving in my direction. Ah, God. Such a big wave. Master. Help. I shouted, swinging on the waves, almost like a professional surfer. The master took a nap at that time, but as soon as he heard my scream, thoughts appeared in his head. Zheng Lan is screaming for help, is something wrong? No. It's the smell of a magical dragon. Suddenly, the old man's eyes widened with fear. The duel between the rodent and the bird continued. What do you think? Not bad, huh? Are you giving up already? The mouse was talking, sitting on top of the raven. Ha. Dream, I won't lose for anything. The bird replied. The master stood in a daze and decided to interrupt their fight. Stop fighting. Find a place to hide. They paid attention to the old man, but did not take him seriously. Raven. Something happened? The rodent asked. Do you think I know? Get up. Prick. The raven shouted. At this time, I could no longer stay on the surface of the pool and began to sink. In the next second, the head of a huge dragon appeared out of the water. He was red in color, with red pupils and very sharp teeth, which, oddly enough, were not so many in his mouth. The image was completed by beautiful horns sticking out of the head. The master immediately flew into the air, increasing in size to normal. I hope they're all right, he thought. The dragon at this moment had already climbed out of the pool, turning his attention to the old man. Oops. He growled. Long time no see. The old man. With the most vicious face, the dragon continued. The old man was hanging in the air, right in front of the magical creature's face. A magical dragon. It's you. Since you're here, does that mean you've kept your soul as well as I have? The master decided to ask. Bearing his smile, the dragon began to speak in a growling tone. It was easy. You underestimated me. I survived despite 1,000 years of imprisonment. That was just enough time for me to get out. But you surprised me. I'm glad you're here too. Finally, I will be able to take revenge on you for melting my flesh and imprisoning me for hundreds of years. In anticipation of revenge, the dragon looked at his abuser. Grandfather made a surprised grimace. A magical dragon. If it wasn't for your evil deeds, you wouldn't be there. These words surprised the dragon. Angry? These people were too greedy. You wanted to take my scales and bones. The beast tried to justify himself. Yes? So they were all evil? And the guy you mauled, too? The master made a counter-argument. All people are greedy and dirty. Why not kill a few people? The master held out his hand in front of him, holding up 2 fingers. You leave me no choice. There's no need to talk anymore. The old man marked the beginning of the duel. We never needed to talk. The dragon decided to support him. In the next second, they both applied their techniques. Turn your soul into animals. Massacre of monsters. Waving his staff, the old man shouted. Turn the dragon's soul into a flame and destroy everything in its path. The dragon growled. Their techniques collided with each other. There was a huge explosion that raised a lot of dust into the air. The dragon decided to take advantage of these and, pushing off with his paw from the ground, jumped towards the old man. Raising his paw to strike, he growled. Die. The old fart. Just a few centimeters before the paw hits the old man, the master put a golden gid in front of him, which repelled the attack. We haven't seen each other for a long time. You've become stronger. The dragon was surprised. In fact, this shield turned out to be a turtle, which the old man summoned at the last moment and put in front of him. I'm too old to get stronger. Dragon, you're the one who's weakened. Without your body, you are an ordinary soul in a huge shell. The old man spoke calmly, realizing that he was superior to his opponent in the fight. The dragon was not going to stop and raised his paw to strike again. You just repelled 2 of my attacks, don't get cocky. I can take you down with 1 left. The creature growled. What are you? Try. Not at all afraid of his enemy, the old man said, and summoned a huge beetle that surpassed the master himself in size by 100 times. The beetle on its head, instead of the usual antennae, had some kind of axe, similar to those that the Vikings carried with them. The blow of the dragon, which was flying at the old man, was intercepted by this particular beetle, and then the second blow with the other hand. The next moment they are already facing each other, trying to overcome each other, just like in that very video, in the locker room, in one of the gyms. Dumbus. The dragon screamed. Get out of here. I don't have time to deal with you. Trying to win the beetle over to his side, the dragon continued. But it wasn't there. Gathering all his strength, the huge beetle rested his paw on the ground and threw the dragon with all his strength into the wall that was behind him. The magical soul clearly did not expect this. After landing, the dragon spat out some blood from his mouth. The fall was clearly not pleasant. The old man decided to take the bull by the horns and continue the successful attack. Back then, you were only able to defeat me because of the dragon body. Do you really think I'll screw up again? The master asked, putting his hand forward again, raising 2 fingers to apply the following technique. Soul, turn into beasts and burst into the fury of the underwater world. After these words, all kinds of fish and other creatures living in the water began to fly out of the old man's staff, which flew towards the dragon. Having hit the enemy directly, the fish immediately scattered, but the damage was visible as blood continued to pour from the dragon's mouth. In the next second, the dragon began to speak, as if it had not received any damage. So what? Even though I'm without a body, I'm still stronger than you. Dragon soul, turn into flames, destroy everything in your path. Then he got down on all 4s and let out an even larger stream of flame from his mouth than before. I was still in the pool at that time. Finally seeing the light, I swam out and was able to get to land, coughing heavily. Phew. God, I almost died. And we're in such a small puddle to take a huge wave. I was lying on the shore and thinking, trying to catch my breath. The next moment I noticed my hand, which was covered with red goo. And what for? What's wrong with my hand? An abomination. Then my second hand was covered with red goo. I tried to throw this thing off, but I couldn't. The red incomprehensible thing began to spread further through my body, and I thought it was most likely evolution. I was glad of this news because it was finally my turn. Literally a few meters away from me, a dragon flew out of the cave, on which there was a huge beetle, trying not to let the first one get up. Get off me. Nothingness. The dragon roared, spewing flames at its abuser, but the beetle was not even hurt. The master managed to put up a barrier in front of his summoning animal in time. The dragon looked at the old man and was surprised. Strange, why did that old man stop? Huh. What a mixed feeling. The dragon suspected something. Yeah, well, of course he's up to something else. He decided not to dwell on it. The next moment he noticed a purple glow, and it was me, but we haven't met him yet. Oh. And what is this? The dragon spirit wondered. Is this really what he wants so much? Ha. It's worth checking out. The dragon decided and pushed off with all his strength from the ground, jumped in my direction. Master in 1 second to fuck. No. The magic dragon noticed after all. Hurry up. Stop him. Don't let him get there. The old man shouted in panic and gave the command to the huge beetle. The dragon was already on its way and was mocking. Haha. I was right. This is something important for the old man. I, being in this purple cocoon, felt the power penetrate me more and more. Oh, but what is this growing sense of anxiety? The dragon wondered, looking at how the cocoon with me began to glow more and more until a huge terrible head appeared out of this light. The shadow of a huge ant appeared and scared everyone. I let out a strong roar, which caused the dragon to hide behind the nearest corner and cowered in fear. It's a creature. So far it's just a shadow, but it's already terrifying. Suddenly, an image appeared in the dragon's head, how he was on the street and reasoning. Not happening. This can't be happening. The strongest creatures on this earth can only be dragons. Why is there anything at all? What is stronger than me? The dragon looked up, where I towered over him, with a knife in my right hand and a fork in the other, ready for a meal. Being in hiding, with his eyes wide open, the dragon continued to observe my evolution. Is this the awakening of the blood? What kind of blood is this that made me tremble so much? I'm a dragon. He continued to cower, not understanding what was happening. Maybe it's that old man's trap. He drew attention to my teacher, who at that moment simply could not believe his eyes. Seeing the expression on his face, the dragon immediately calmed down. Excellent. It looks like I'm just making up my mind. Such a chance comes once in 100 years. If I capture that body, I can get out of captivity. Besides, with this powerful blood talent, I'll be able to regain my original level in a mere 100 years. With my current knowledge, I will reach it quickly. Being under so much pressure, the old man still won't be able to stop me. If I capture this body before the pressure disappears, that old man will no longer be my equal. Haha. I never would have thought that this day would come. The dragon was already dreaming, anticipating victory in his head. The master continued to hang in the air, watching my evolution. This greenhouse is not a magical beast, but it knows the human language, which is already amazing. I would never have thought that his blood talent was also incredible. A dragon can still move under such pressure. The magical beasts I created can't even move. Even if I try to make magical animals stronger, regardless of the consequences, I still won't have time. The master reasoned, seeing that my evolution had suppressed all the creatures that were in the cave. The dragon decided to act. Now no one can stop me. He was talking as he walked towards me. As soon as I take possession of this body and leave the prison, I will make the pitiful people afraid of being naked again. Suddenly, sensing the approach of a hostile creature to me, I instinctively released the ant's paws in the direction of the dragon. Fortunately for the creature and unfortunately for me, he managed to react and repulse the attack. Haha. Are you trying to stop me with this cheap trick? As soon as he destroyed my paws, his hand began to crumble. Hey. What happened? He wondered and continued. The power of my soul is dissipating. Damn. Why doesn't it stop? Why? What's the matter? At this time, the old man, without even turning towards the dragon, began to speak. A magical dragon. You wanted a body, didn't you? How naive. In ancient times, there were many strong races. With such a strong bloodline, the bodies of their offspring became the main targets of other races. What, do you think they're fools? They could definitely protect their blood. How did a wingless dragon hybrid even dare to think about it? You're really looking for death. The dragon listened to the master's words, but did not lose heart. Like hell. I'm so close. I almost did it. He spoke, reaching out with his other paw towards my cocoon. No, I won't give up. He growled, and his soul was already dissipating even more. The old man kept telling him. A magical dragon. In the end, you will die because of your greed. Oh, right. I must definitely absorb the power of his soul before it dissipates. Haha. She's all mine now. Full of joy, the old man headed towards the dragon soul, which was dissipating. Suddenly, all the radiance of my cocoon stopped shining and began to crack. The pressure disappeared. It looks like my student has finally finished. The master said as he watched my cocoon crack more and more. Suddenly, I put my paw on the ground. The description of my new body was like this. Raza, unknown. Skills. The power of the Ant King and acid that can kill even a dragon. Dragon technique. Immense flame. You finally did it. Accept my congratulations. The old man said, looking in my direction. Thank you, teacher. I answered and started running closer to him. Teacher, but what just happened? Where did the huge waves and trembling of the earth come from? I decided to ask, standing next to the teacher, and now my height was up to his waist, despite the fact that the old man took his usual height. Never mind, just a fool showed up. The teacher answered while he was thinking. It was a good thing he hadn't found out about the dragon. I would never have been able to explain to him what was what. Suddenly, two spirits appeared from the wall. Reception. Everything is clear on the right. Reception. Said the white one. On the left, too. Said the little black one. The next moment, after the spirit's words, a rodent and a raven appeared. It was so noisy here. We still don't know how our boss is doing. Rodent decided to start. That old man looks pretty strong. I'm sure they'll be fine. Raven continued. Seeing the new me, the raven and the rodent started walking towards me. Look. It must be our boss. Said the rodent. I also paid attention to them. Where have you been? I decided to ask, and they began their story. There was some confusion, and the old man told us to hide. Yes, he's right. Everything happened so fast, we didn't even have time to really understand what happened. They said, well, I decided not to focus on it. In that case, it's all right. I answered. Maybe it's because you've evolved, boss. The rodent asked. That's right, our boss was powerful even before he became a magical beast, it must have been him. Proud of me, my subordinates continued, and I, putting my hand behind my head, said, laughing. Hahaha. Really? You flatter me. The master was watching us and thinking in his head. Huh. Here the youngsters went. Who is Zheng Lan? He was supposed to become an ordinary magical bug beast, but where did he get the traits of the dragon race? As far as I know, there are many branches from the dragon bloodline, but there should not be a branch with ants. Judging by the magic dragon's reaction, this kid really isn't related to the dragon race. Maybe he represents something new? Having finished reasoning, the old man has already turned to us. Okay, it's time to get out of here. I decided to answer him first. And I like this place. Someday we will definitely bring our subordinates here and make an army of magical beasts. I finished. Great idea. No wonder you're our boss. All right, boss. My subordinates supported me. The old man at the same time listened to me with shock and thought. What a damn good idea, it's a terrible idea. How can you afford to cultivate all these magical beasts? Exactly. I have savings. In principle, you can give them away. I'm a demigod after all, can I afford a small army of level 1 and 2 magical beasts? In only as far as these savings will be enough. The master finished thinking. And we started walking towards the exit until I came across some strange red crystal that was hanging in the air. Oh, what's that there? I decided to check by going to the crystal. Boss, hurry up. Rodent decided to tell me, and I decided not to delay and grabbed the crystal, running after the subordinates. Haha. What fell is mine.